What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, we're missing Lindsay. Unfortunately, she had some things she had to take care of today, but no worries, she will be back. But this will be the first video I think I've done by myself in well over a year and a half. Now, for those of you that have been around the channel since the beginning, you know that I started the channel by myself, and for the first year and a half or more of the channel, it was just me. And then we gradually started bringing Lindsay on for certain videos, and basically over time she became my co-host. And so I have gotten really used to having a co-host. I've gotten really used to having Lindsay here to talk back and forth with, and so this feels a little bit odd, but it also feels kind of good. It feels like the old days to me. You know, I just haven't made a video by myself in so long. It's just kind of odd, you know. The reason I decided to go ahead and check out this video by myself specifically is because this is a topic that was suggested a long time ago. I mean, this is something I've had on the list to check out for well over a year. But every time I've brought it up, it's one of those things that Lindsay, she's just not as interested in this topic as I think I will be. And what is that topic? That is the Scammell Scarab, the mechanical horse. In other words, this is some sort of really cool old British truck. Now, or a lorry, as you guys would call it. Now, I don't know anything about this, but you know, I remember when this was brought up, they mentioned a few little things about it, but I just know that it's supposed to be really cool. And obviously, this is from 1957, so this is going to be I guess a little bit of a short documentary of sorts about this special truck of sorts. So guys, anyway, enough rambling. Let's go ahead and dive in here and check out the Scammell Scarab, the mechanical horse.
Yes, a scene of the English countryside. But in these times of mechanical farming, the presence of the horse suggests it belongs more to yesterday than to today. Yet even now, in the country and in the towns, the horse can still be seen, though very occasionally, playing his traditional and useful part, a willing and patient worker, man's true friend and companion, even if in many fields of transport he has outlived his usefulness.
Wait, so in 1957, horses were still being used to haul goods through the city? Is that what they're saying? You know, I would have assumed that trucking would have completely taken over moving goods through the city by 1957. Obviously, in the countryside, you would expect to see horses even today, but that's just, honestly, that's surprising to me. You know, I just wouldn't have thought that horses were still used that much in the city or at all, you know, by the time it got to 1957.
Yet there was a great deal to be said for him. For instance, when coupled to a four-wheeled cart, he could turn the vehicle round in its own length, a point of considerable importance in railway marshalling yards, loading bays, docks, and streets. He could also be reversed anywhere where space was restricted, as is so often the case in the congested towns and cities of today. And another point, the horse could easily be unhitched from one vehicle between the shafts of another. While one cart was loaded or unloaded, he could take another on the road. Throughout his working day, the horse was never idle. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the horse worked a lot better, especially in probably tighter streets and whatnot, back streets, alleyways, than a truck ever could, because the truck is going to be much larger. It can't kind of do the three-point turn, if you will, like a horse can. And plus, you can take a horse and take it off the trailer and transport it to another trailer and whatnot. So, yeah, I guess I can see why horses potentially were still being used in 1957 in the cities. Splendid animals indeed, but the gloss on the coat and the glitter of the harness were great absorbers of time and elbow grease. Yes, the horse had his drawbacks. The attention he needed one way or another formed a not inconsiderable item for labor. Inevitably, his patient, plodding progress led to traffic congestion. No wonder that with the coming of the internal combustion engine and the increasing call for speedy transport, the horse began to vanish from the streets of our town.
So they offered a lot of benefit, but they also were much slower than a truck. And I'm guessing a truck obviously could haul more at one time. So although the horse did have some benefits, there was a lot of drawbacks compared to the truck.
There were, of course, certain areas, like Covent Garden, the famous fruit market in the heart of London, for instance, where congestion was not noticeably reduced by the introduction of motor transport. Many firms discovered that the conventional rigid lorry was not remarkable for its maneuverability. It was no small wonder that there were those who remembered some of the advantages which the horse provided, advantages which, in the quest for speed, the designer of a mechanical transport had overlooked. So it was that a quarter of a century ago, in 1932 to be precise, a group of engineers faced up to the problem of producing a really modern vehicle. In place of our old friend came the Scarab mechanical horse, a motorized vehicle with all the advantage of the horse, but with much increased speed and carrying capacity. The firm responsible for this development? Scammell Lorries Limited, the pioneers of articulated vehicles. Here was a three-wheel tractor of quite astonishing maneuverability, ideally suited to the traffic conditions of today. An immediate success. Transport operators everywhere were quick to appreciate its advantages over
look
its
at this
counterpart of a generation ago.
Okay, that's a very narrow street. It honestly almost looked like an alleyway. It doesn't even really look like a street. But, obviously I understand in the UK, because so many of the cities, London, I think is where they're at, I'm guessing, but I could be wrong on that. They were laid out so long ago when horses were the means of transportation. There was no trucks. It makes sense that a lot of the streets are more narrow. But look at this thing. This thing can come right through here. I imagine a lot of trucks would have a problem with that.
Are even more evident now than when it was first introduced, for the number of vehicles on the road has increased during the last few years many times over. The problem of traffic congestion grows worse every year. The Scarab does much to solve this problem. Notice, for example, how easily it turns in a confined space with the minimum inconvenience to other road users.
Look at that!
Inevitably, many loads have to be collected and delivered under difficult conditions. Scammell lorries have produced a vehicle to meet a very real need.
Dude, that is literally like a tractor pulling a trailer, but it's a truck. I have never seen anything quite like this. Wow.
At the same time, on open stretches of road, the Scarab is no laggard. Remarkable maneuverability, however, remains its prime virtue, and is the reason why so many users have adopted it in place of a rigid vehicle. Today, this is a common sight in every town and city of Britain, just as familiar as the horse-drawn vehicle was over a century ago.
Whoa. I have never seen a truck be able to turn on a dime like that. That is incredible. Wow. Okay, are these things still around? I've literally never seen a truck that drives like this. I mean, like, he was able to turn, better than my car could. You know what I mean? That's incredible, because it's a truck, right? Or a lorry, what you guys would call it.
The trailer is always able to be turned in its own length, an inestimable boon under all operating conditions.
Wow.
An excellent example of this vehicle's extreme maneuverability is demonstrated here, showing how it is capable of traversing an arc something better than 180 degrees.
Wow. That is really impressive. Oh, are you kidding me? What? Guys, that is incredible.
No burden of...
Where are these today? I mean, you guys might still see these on the road. I don't know, but I've literally never seen anything like this here, and I don't know why. Granted, I know a lot of the, trucking goes long distance, and they don't need, they need to haul more goods than, worry about turning on a dime. But when you're in town, when you're going into like alleyways, some of these businesses here, even where we have wider roads, a lot of the businesses you have to go through alleyways in the back to get to the back to where you unload goods into the back door of whatever business, right? And a truck like this would work amazing, but I've never seen anything like this.
Appears too great for this sturdy vehicle to tackle. Yet, if the mechanical horse was to compete on more than equal terms with a live horse and the orthodox motor vehicle,
It's hauling
the
quite a
problem
bit.
of interchangeability had to be tackled. And very effectively it was tackled too. In with one load, and off out again for another with no waiting. Uncoupling from one trailer and coupling to another has become a matter of seconds. This patented and unique coupling gear is the very heart of the Scammell mechanical horse design.
That is incredible.
Now let's see exactly how it works.
That's amazing.
The coupling gear is in two halves, one half being fitted to the tractor, the other to the trailer. Here are closer shots of the undercarriage to which the gear is attached. Watch now how simply and easily the job is done. The mechanical horse is reversed so that the ramps on the rear of the chassis engage with the flanged wheels on the undercarriage or trailer portion of the coupling gear. As connection is made, notice how, as the ramps are inclined, continual reversing raises the front end of the trailer. A trip gear unlocks the safety catch of the undercarriage, automatically retracting it. The locking hooks on the mechanical horse engage rollers on the undercarriage, and the trailer is thus securely locked in position. At the same time, the trailer brakes and rear lights are automatically engaged. Now let us see this coupling mechanism in detail. The two ramps on either side of the tractor are aligned with the flange wheels on the trailer's undercarriage. This guide bracket trips the plate, releasing the locking hooks, allowing the trailer's undercarriage to retract. A bell crank, operated by this slipper, connects the braking mechanism. Two sets of double claws, one on each side of the tractor, connect with corresponding rollers on the trailer undercarriage. Lighting connections interlock with the same ease as everything else. Finally, these hooks ride on the ends of the oscillating beam protruding from each flange wheel, and shock of connection is reduced to a minimum by spring buffers. It is clear that since the trailer undercarriage can be swiveled through 180 degrees, the coupling by the tractor can be made at as acute an angle as may be necessary.
That is crazy. Okay, I understand, like, a lot of that looks like probably what today's transfer trucks, we call them 18-wheelers, large lorries, if you will, kind of that kind of seems to be, the way a trailer hooks up to the truck and moves, and they can, turn pretty well. But this thing is incredible for driving through narrow streets and being, you see, it was able to turn on a dime earlier. This is like one of the most amazing vehicles I've ever seen in my life.
The driver then releases the parking brake, and the complete vehicle is ready to move away.
Wow. That's so quick, too.
The has taken a matter of 15 to 20 seconds.
Look at that thing.
It should be emphasized that no special skill other than ordinary driving competence is required.
See, and it's like, it's kind of like a large transfer truck today, or a large 18-wheeler, but you guys call them HV, I can't remember. What are they called? What do you guys call the large trucks? I can't remember what you guys call them. But it's like these little trucks don't look like they can jackknife at all. It looks like they would continue being able to just go round and round, which is incredible.
The driver will tell you it's simplicity itself.
Look at that.
Into it. The complete vehicle is now ready for another job. And the more restricted the space, the more it's in its element. Now for uncoupling, an equally simple and speedy operation. First, the parking brake on the trailer is put into the on position. Then a release lever in the cab is lifted, and the motive unit is simply driven away.
Look how quick that is.
Before the trailer is disengaged, the retractable undercarriage returns and is automatically locked into an upright position, thus providing solid support for the front end of the trailer before the mechanical horse moves off.
And I love how, look at this, the three-wheeled nature of this vehicle. It can literally go anywhere. It's like under this tower here. I mean, that's incredible. Like, you almost can't get stuck like in a tight space with this vehicle. If you got into the space, you can very likely get out of the space. And if you had to, you could easily drop the trailer in a moment's notice and move and figure out the trailer. That is wild.
Now let's have another look at the Scarab mechanical horse on the job again. Extreme congestion is nowhere more apparent than in the London docks, and for that matter, most other dock areas in Great Britain and abroad. Many dock operators have found that by using the mechanical horse, waiting time has been cut by hours per vehicle per day, illustrating the economic advantages of the Scarab compared with conventional rigid motor vehicles. The problem here in the docks is to provide fast and highly maneuverable transport for loads from shipside to warehouse and then to the consumer. A typical instance of so-called internal application. The prime mover, the mechanical horse, takes away the loaded trailer, while a second trailer is loaded without delay, without wasting the time of either driver or machine. The uncoupled trailer becomes, in effect, a mobile loading bay. The mechanical horse is indeed a most useful servant in dock installation everywhere. Transport operators and warehousemen alike appreciate its extra speed and economy. For short-haul use, the Scarab is unrivaled. Ever since its introduction, railway operators, for instance, have recognized its unique advantages.
Yeah, I started to say, I don't think this would be that great for long haul because it's not, you're not able to carry as much as you would like with this, but for in the cities, you know, like, what an incredible vehicle.
In Britain, in pre-war years, the 4 railway companies were among Scammell's earliest clients. Today, British Railways have a fleet of some 10,000 tractors and 29,000 trailers, a proportion of approximately 3 to 1. British Railways, like many other operators, require a shuttle type of service, one trailer being loaded, another offloaded, while the tractor, coupled to a third, is left free for general collection and delivery work. One Scammell Scarab with 2 or more trailers can often carry out the work of 2 or more rigid vehicles with consequent savings in outlay and operating costs. Here is a view of Waterloo Bridge, spanning the River Thames. And in the background, the embankment. Like all cities, London has the problem of maintaining public health. And this means an effective method of sewage and rubbish disposal to ensure clean streets. Scammell lorries have designed a wide range of specialized vehicles to fill this need. They include refuse collectors, gully emptiers, and street washers. They have many functions in the task of municipal cleansing. But in each case, the prime mover is the Scammell Scarab mechanical horse. Here, for instance, are some London municipal cleansing vans. The location may change. These and similar vehicles are in use all over the world.
Okay, so they basically have different trailer outfits for all sorts of different purposes. So it's not just the flatbed trailer. They have everything, including like tanker versions and so forth for sewage and everything else you can imagine.
Operating conditions remain much the same.
Wait,
a built-in barrier
trash trucks
or full load to be carried without any undesirable overspill.
Wow.
Alternatively, a model can be supplied with a mechanically operating moving floor, as seen here. Good design has done much to ease the task. The municipal trailer is one of the most widely used vehicles in the Scammell range. One of the councils in the London metropolitan area to use Scammell equipment is Deptford. Many other municipal authorities up and down the country and abroad use vehicles exactly similar to these. Here, a Scammell bin carrier is being loaded outside a large block of flats in London. Unwinding the mechanism is a simple matter easily performed by one man.
I can see how this would have been amazing and a game changer for all the small, narrow streets in these neighborhoods collecting bins. Is this like, I guess, trash bins? That's what I'm thinking.
And loading the full bins onto the trailer is taken
Or is it something
care of
else?
by this device
What is
seen in
that?
operation here.
Oh, that doesn't really look like a trash
moves into
bin.
position with the expenditure of virtually no actual physical labor.
I'm not sure.
Time is also saved, enabling the maximum area to be covered every day.
What is that? The trash bin. Oh, is it like a dumpster? Is that what that is?
Much of London's refuse is taken away by barges.
Yeah, I think so.
Downriver to the marshy areas bordering the mouth of the Thames where it is dumped. Or in the case of certain types of refuse and sewage, out to sea where it is disposed of in deep water. Scammell municipal cleansing equipment is an indispensable link in this chain of refuse disposal.
Wait, they were dumping trash in the ocean in 1957 still? That's interesting. Okay.
Here, a trailer powered by the Scarab mechanical horse moves into position.
So I guess that is
Preparatory to
trash
tipping its
dumpsters.
load into a barge. Again, the tipping mechanism proves its worth, and the job is quickly done. The vehicle will soon be on the job again, the job of keeping London clean. Here is a collector again. This time, the tipping mechanism is actuated by a valve, but the process is as quick, simple, and efficient as in the case of the previous vehicle. Again, this load will be taken away by barge. Vehicles of this type are also in daily operation all over the world. Many operators report that they are still enjoying trouble-free service from mechanical horses bought as long ago as 1932. Now for one of the most versatile vehicles in the race.
1932. Look
the
at
road
that.
sweeper and collector. The road brushes are driven by a separate engine, thus ensuring that sweeping speeds are in no way dependent upon road speed. The operator sits on the trailer itself, which means that the driver is able to concentrate on driving, the operator on sweeping. A spray brush is fitted in advance of the front brush, while a sprinkler head is fitted in advance of the channel brush. The flow of water being regulated by the operator, and the whole unit can be traversed to dodge obstacles.
That's really cool. You know, we have large street sweepers here, and I just know that there's certain narrow alleyways they would have trouble going into. And so I know on narrow streets, something like this would have been amazing.
Careful attention has been given both to the appearance of the machine and to easy accessibility.
Look at that!
The result?
That's incredible.
Cleansing, allied to remarkable
just a U-turn like that. Could go down to one end of the street, turn around without having to go off the street.
Scammell trailer type gully emptier. Again, like the others, designed to work in conjunction with a mechanical horse.
The storm drain?
This particular one is operated by the Council of Holborn, London.
Oh, storm drain cleaner.
Construction, promising many years of trouble-free service. In a moment now, you will see it in action.
So you guys call storm drains gullies?
By means of a separate engine is responsible for raising and maintaining vacuum.
I think that's
what that is. While a special straining device is fitted to the rear door, which permits foul water to be run off.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And only dry sludge taken back to the tip. This vehicle, according to requirements, can be supplied as a straightforward gully emptier or as a combined gully and cesspool emptier.
Yeah, that's what that is.
This flushing process is known as seep.
That was quick.
And here is the Scammell trailer type street washer, specially designed to cover all the requirements of municipal authorities in connection with street washing, channel damping, water sprinkling, sewer flushing, and pavement cleaning, wherever copious supplies of water are required. Water capacity is 1,250 gallons. These then are just a few of the vehicles designed by Scammell for municipal cleansing. No matter how many specialized designs you may require for the occasion.
What is that? Is that whiskey?
The
what is that?
Mover itself, the Scammell Scarab mechanical horse need never be idle.
Looks like a whiskey barrel.
Whatever your transport problem. Let us now illustrate a few more general applications where this versatile vehicle has proved its use.
It's not. Is it? What is that?
This is the loading bay of a famous London brewery.
Ah, okay.
Brewery here is employed in so-called shuttle-type operation. While one trailer, especially made to the company's own design, is being loaded, the Scarab with a second trailer is making a round of deliveries to consumers over a wide area. When the Scarab returns with the empty trailer, there's no time lost. The driver finds another load ready to go.
It's so quick.
Uncoupling the empty trailer and coupling up the new load is, as we have seen,
the
work of a few moments only. Thus, proving again the tremendous advantage over the rigid vehicle, which must of necessity stand idle during the whole of the loading and offloading time.
Here, I didn't see them plug any electric together, so I'm guessing the back end of this trailer didn't have any sort of brake lights or anything. I could be wrong on that. Somehow that could happen automatically, but or maybe that's what that guy was just doing. Maybe he was plugged up some electric or something. I'm not sure. I don't see any lights back there.
Another advantage of this shuttle type of operation is that the need for storage space at the plant is reduced to the minimum. These attractive trailers are a good form of indirect advertising.
Yeah.
In any setting, they look right, even in this quiet urban backwater. This reliance on regularity and certainty of delivery of raw material is nowhere better illustrated than by the use of scarabs by
incredible
manufacturers. At this great factory, the mechanical horse has abundantly proved its usefulness. Here, a trailer is being backed up to receive another load. Newspapers must come out on time, and Scammells help to ensure that they do. The extreme maneuverability of the Scarab incidentally proves its usefulness in Fleet Street and other congested areas in the centers of large cities where most newspapers are printed. And now, finally, a quick glance at just a few other applications. Bulk liquids, for instance.
I start saying water.
Frameless are designed and made to meet your particular requirements.
Oil, whatever.
Liquids, hot or cold, en route as you wish. We know just the kind of trailer you require, whether it's for petrol, powders, flour, indeed any commodity.
Handles a roundabout with ease.
Big stores, faced with the necessity of providing their customers with a rapid delivery service, find the mechanical horse a vital component in their transport fleet. Here's another type of frameless tanker used by a well-known brewery for carrying beer in bulk. Whatever the load you carry, there is a Scammell trailer to do the job. Coupled to the Scarab, it makes an unbeatable team.
Eli's.
These are just a handful of our many satisfied customers at home. There are hundreds more abroad. We also make mobile shops to operate, for example, on a new housing estate, mobile dental clinics and X-ray units, banks, canteens, television units.
Look, I can't get over how sharp they can turn.
Whether in industry, commerce, or public service of one kind or another, we at Scammells will certainly be able to help. Times change, and industry today is in the forefront of these changes, not least in the field of transport. The horse on the domestic milk round may not yet have outlived his usefulness.
Still have the milkman.
When it comes to transporting milk in bulk, and indeed any other product, the mechanical horse caters for the mass market of today and tomorrow. So whatever your transport problem, why not talk it over with us? We have the know-how, the experience in carrying goods and raw materials all over the world. We have the technical skill in design and craftsmanship in the factory to produce the vehicle for any job. And in the Scammell Scarab mechanical horse, we have the versatile, reliable, and efficient prime mover second to none. Get in touch with us, won't you? We at Scammells have the answer.
Wow. Guys, this thing is incredible. I wonder what happened to them. Is this company, Scammell Scarab, is it still going on? Like I said, I've never seen anything quite like this. Obviously, there are parts of this that remind me of today's large transfer trucks that transfer goods across the country and whatnot. But I must admit that, the compact size of it and seeing just how, it could turn on a dime without jackknifing in like the tiniest area is just incredible. And it makes me wonder if something like this is still used today in tight, spaces throughout certain UK cities like London, or if nothing like this is used today and they just use regular trucks that don't probably turn as well as these and can't maneuver quite as well. It is true that, based off what we saw here, the size of the trailer, generally speaking, granted, you could change the trailers for different sorts of purposes, but generally speaking, the trailers themselves were much smaller than you see on your average large, what we would call an 18-wheeler here in the U.S. And again, what do you call it? An H? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of what you guys call one of those large trucks. Actually, I want to look that up real quick. Yes, what I was trying to think of was an HGV, heavy goods vehicle. That's what you guys generally call what we call 18-wheelers or transfer trucks here in the U.S. And so this kind of reminds me of an HGV in some regard, kind of the way it's, hooks to the trailer and stuff like that, and the way it can kind of turn. But this seems next level compared to an HGV. It's obviously a smaller truck, but the maneuverability of this is insane. And if these aren't used anymore, because I've never seen anything like this, if they aren't used anymore, it makes me wonder why. Based off what I saw here, it's absolutely amazing. And to think that this technology wasn't just around in 1957. They said, I believe, 1932, if I'm not mistaken, is when this kind of got its start to at least a certain extent. And that is incredible. Wow. I'm really impressed with this thing, man. The fact that you can interchange them with so many different trailers very quickly, and literally all sorts of purposes, from washing the roads, which that was pretty incredible to see. And the fact that you could go and wash the roads and go, especially the ones that's scrubbing the side of the roads, the street cleaners, they could just go down a narrow road and go to the end on one side and then just do a U-turn and come back the other side without having to go off to another road to turn around or something somewhere. And just seeing how you could get into some tight spaces and be okay. And this was really amazing, guys. I love looking at things like this, stuff that's really unique. And, let me know in the comments, guys, if there's some other vehicles that are sort of similar that you think I'd find interesting, because this was just incredible. I liked everything about this, and I really want to know why. I've never seen anything like this before. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey. Until next time, peace.